Hey Warriors fans, Scott Warris for WLCSports.com, and we are joined by Ryan Broeckel. He's an All-American, one of the top players in the league, but for our purposes, Ryan, you are the reigning NACC Men's Basketball Student Athlete of the Week. Congratulations on that honor. I know you've won it now 4 times. And with the individual success, I know you're as proud with the team success as anything. Big win over Concordia, Wisconsin, and then a big win over the UW Lacrosse Eagles here at the Time of Grace Center. How would you recap the week that was for you and for your entire team?
Yeah, this week was really good. This is our second WEAC win, so it's always great to play good competition and also beat good competition. It's a great win on our resume. I thought as a team, we had ups and we had downs, but ultimately we got the wins. First half of especially the last game against Lacrosse, we kind of couldn't really get it going offensively, but second half we're kind of turning into a second half team. That's kind of our identity right now. Hopefully we can turn into a 40-minute team, but we're doing what we can and we're winning right now, so hopefully we can keep it rolling.
Yeah, Ryan averaged a double-double, 22 points per game, 11.5 rebounds per game. He went for 27 and 16 against Lacrosse. It was something interesting that your coach, Aaron Onenson, said. It was tied at half, but you felt you guys were in a good place. What is it about the second half and the way this team just really soars after halftime?
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a confidence there, certainly.
Yeah, we either end the half on a good note, which means we go into the second half with a little bit more confidence, or we start the second half really hot. I don't really know what it is. We're talking as a team and we're trying to figure it out. We don't know if it's, we're ready to go at the start of the game or if it just takes a little bit for us to get in that groove offensively. But we really pride ourselves on defense, and that's really what's keeping us in the game that first half on most of the games this year.
I imagine, and react to this, but I imagine a lot of that comes with the veteran nature of this team. You guys have been through ups and downs and everything in between, and with it comes a confidence in your own abilities and in the abilities of each other.
Yeah, we have, at least the last couple of games, we've been starting 5 seniors, most of which have been with us since freshman year. They got minutes freshman year during that COVID year, and then a couple of us started kicking off a little bit more sophomore and junior year. But like you said, we are a pretty veteran team. We are senior heavy, but we also have a lot of energy coming off the bench, which is huge for us. When the seniors and the upperclassmen kind of need those breaks, we're having a lot of productivity from those underclassmen. Great minutes, great quality minutes. They're bringing high energy off the bench. And really the guys that are on the bench, they're bringing a lot of energy. So that does more for the guys on the court than I think a lot of people realize. So it's 1 through 25. It's not just 1 through 5 that's on the court at the time. It's our coaching staff. It's everyone working collectively.
How have you managed expectations? And before we talk about team expectations, what about expectations for yourself? I mean, the resume that you've built, all-conference honoree, All-American, as I said. Go back to this off-season. How have you kind of managed your expectations? Is that hard?
Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah. I struggled a lot with it at the start of the year. Whether it was known expectations, like people are verbally saying it, or if it's just kind of implied, I felt a lot of pressure from fans, family, coaching staff, teammates, and even myself to produce and put up the numbers like last year. But every year's a new year, so I'm trying to change my perspective on it a little bit, knowing that I might not put up the numbers of last year. Teams might throw some different things at me and at the team defensively, and what can I do to impact the game in more ways than just scoring?
Do you still feel that pressure now as you're 8 games into the season, or has some of that pressure kind of been released as you've seen this team perform and you've gotten the great contributions from so many guys every night?
Yeah, and that's huge. I look back to the Stevens Point game. I did not play particularly well, and I came into the locker room. We won the game. I came into the locker room selfishly a little upset with how I played. And Coach Onenson kind of stopped me outside, and he said, "Man, it feels great, doesn't it?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "You don't have to play great for us to win." And I think that's one thing that really sets us apart from a lot of the teams in our league and in college basketball in general at the D3 level. Even looking at that game, I'm pretty sure Grayson didn't have like his best game. Now he's been popping off the last couple of games, but Jacob Stoltz had a great game. Howard had a great game. Lubbers had a great game. We have guys that can step up on any given night, and it doesn't just fall on one or two guys to produce. And I think that's huge, and it kind of took me a little bit to understand that. Going back to high school, it was kind of like that when, if I didn't play well, then typically the team didn't really win. And I felt that selfishly junior year when really that probably wasn't even the case, but that's just kind of how I felt, and kind of shifting that mindset a little bit is releasing some of that pressure off of me. It also helps that Jacob Stoltz is putting up the numbers that he is right now. I mean, he's a leading scorer. I think he dropped a little bit, but I think he's at like 17 and a half, 18 points a game. So that's huge off of me. Grayson is averaging probably 12, 6, and 6. It's nuts right now, the productivity he's bringing. So really it's not just one or two guys, I think is huge for relieving that pressure.
Ryan Broeckel, the conference's men's basketball student athlete of the week. One more serious question before we have some fun at the very end. Your game, obviously you're working the low post, the mid-range, but every once in a while, you don't mind stepping out and hitting a three, and you can hit the three. Was that always part of your game, or is that something that's just developed as you have developed collegiately?
I would love to say it was always part of my game, but Coach A would probably disagree with that. In high school, I'd shoot, when I was wide open kind of thing. Coming in sophomore year, it was a red light, do not shoot the ball kind of thing. Last year, I shot, I think it was 29, 30%. Again, not a ton of volume there. But I really tried to extend my game because I knew coming into this year that I would have to change what I did offensively and score in different ways. Because I was arguably very one-dimensional last year, and I was very scoutable in my opinion, and being able to diversify my game a little bit is kind of big. And Coach wants me to shoot more threes, but it's kind of, I got to get my feet set and the flow of the game. There was one time last game where we were running a play, and I got the ball at the top of the key, and I probably could have shot it, and I heard Coach on the bench say, shoot it, but I knew the play was to get the ball to Heffley. And I'm like, let's just get Heffley going. Made the extra pass, got a ball screen, Heffley came off a double, hit a three. That's the kind of stuff that really works. And not only me, but also Grayson and Stoltz and the rest of the guys, we play such unselfish basketball, especially the last couple of games, and I really think that's what's keeping us going.
Coach was okay with that unselfishness in that particular moment?
I haven't talked to them about that, but
right.
I was fine with it because I'd rather have Heffley shoot the three, who's probably shooting 50% on the year.
All right, Ryan Broeckel. In the time-honored tradition of these here interviews, I hold in my hand 3 note cards, and on each note card is a set of 5 questions. Which set of questions would you like me to ask you?
I'll go number 3.
All right. The category, lifestyle. The first answer that comes to mind. What is your favorite day of the week?
Friday. Definitely Friday. School day is over.
Would you rather walk on the moon or take a stroll on the ocean floor?
Walk on the moon.
The musical instrument you do not play, but you would love to learn how?
Either guitar or piano.
To whom do you go to first when seeking life advice?
Probably Coach A.
What personality trait do you most admire in another person?
I would say the ability to change perspectives on things and see different outputs.
And the wild card question. For people who don't know, you have in the past been a WIAA-sanctioned basketball referee.
Yep.
Okay, that's the high school governing body in the state of Wisconsin. So my question to you is this. It's a great dichotomy here. Are you a better ref because you play college basketball, or are you a better college basketball player because you also referee?
Definitely a better college basketball player because I referee.
How so?
I know the differences between high school and college, and I kind of look at that. So the terminology that referees use, I can use in the conversations with them as a speaking captain. So they kind of understand pretty quick that, okay, this guy actually
knows what he's talking about.
He's not just complaining about the call. Like, he actually has some basis to what he's saying, and hopefully that'll help me get a call or two.
Do you think it has worked?
I'd like to think so.
Okay.
Terms like displacement or KYP, or not KYP, it's a cylinder.
Yeah.
The new charge rule. I've been kind of
Okay.
talking with people about that. So
Okay.
hopefully
Very
it
good.
works.
He's playing, he's reffing, he's doing it all. Ryan Broeckel, NACC Men's Basketball Student Athlete of the Week. Keep it going.
Thank you.
Thank you.